This video contains information that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are a viewer and are triggered or shocked by images and need a warning prior to every clip or story being discussed, then please unsubscribe from my channel immediately. My channel covers the harsh reality of even the worst crimes imaginable and is for adults only. For those of you who fit into this category, take this message as your warning and don't watch any further. Yeah, this is my other streaming software for when people call in. Alright? Doesn't have all the same stuff as the other one. Well, thanks for being here, Tiffany. Yeah, I tried reading the Avow letter out loud, and I was going to make a video, but it just... I'm not going to read any of the religious portions of it. You know, it's all the these and the thous and the... It just... Alright, so I'm going to start off by reading the letter from Melanie Gibb, and it's Melanie Gibb, not MG, okay? Don't type in the shorts because we're not as cool as you. I'd rather just have you type in the full name, alright? Thank you. You know, like if you're talking about Alex, don't type in AC like you're some really in person, okay? Just type his name, Alex. Same as Lori, it's only a couple extra letters. I know you can do it. I guarantee it, you're able to pull that off. Yeah, the letter was on East Idaho News, and Nate got it, but I think he got it from Avow, okay? So in the description of the video, I have the link to the actual article itself. If you don't want me to read it for you or anything, you can go have some fun over there just reading it yourself. Whose birthday is it? Oh, it's Sarah Brown's birthday?
Hey!
Oh, man. That was, John Boy just jumped right in there. Yeah, I'm going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to skip the quotes from the Bible and other things. Or whatever she's reading it from. Yeah, happy birthday. Sarah, is that whose birthday it is? Okay, cool.
Happy birthday to Sarah. Happy birthday to Sarah. Happy birthday to Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Wow, that was hard to get those high notes.
Yeah, that can be a little bit difficult. Maybe start off lower next time.
Okay, yeah, I'll give that a shot.
All right, so we're going to get reading the letter now. Yeah. All right. Happy birthday. Wow. Yeah, she needs to start off a little bit lower, don't you think? Yeah. Okay. Okay, happy birthday, everybody. All right, I gotta get going on the show now. This is Melanie Gibb, who was. This is what she types in. Okay, this is what the letter says. All right. It says, this is Melanie Gibb, who was a. Let me turn this music down a little bit. I don't sound like a female, so I'm not going to use. Have another voice do it, so it's me. So this is a woman who wrote this letter. Okay, but it says. This is Melanie Gibb, who was a good friend with Chad and Lori. I wanted to share some thoughts I have had with all of you on Avow. And Avow is one of the prepper sort of Mormon sites out there. I have been on Avow in the past, but it's been a while. See, to me, in a way, when I'm reading this, I picture Melanie's trying to position herself as sort of this newer leader, this new wave leader, like she wants to capitalize on her situation. That's what I get from it. The first part anyways. I've been on Avow in the past, but it's been a while. I first wanted to address Christopher Parrott. Brother, I feel your journey. I too know what it's like to be deceived by Chad Daybell. I wanted to believe him too. He's so soft-spoken and comes across as sincere and humble. I get it. There's nothing like letting the world see you be deceived and then stand up for him. I'm so sorry you have to experience that. I know what that feels like. Okay, second, I wanted to address something the Lord put on my heart when all this happened to me. I began to see my pride in a way I might not have seen it if it weren't for the great deception, embarrassment, and tragedy. The words that come to my mind was prepper pride. We often think that because we think we are aware that we are awake or woke. Just kidding. This is not true. Many of us have partaken of other experiences, but have not had these experiences ourselves. About 11 years ago, I had some beautiful spiritual experiences that led me to a mighty change of heart. See, now she's setting it up like, wow, she has visions too. Man, even 11 years ago. Upon awakening to all of my pride, I was taught truth from error and could see all my sins. It was the most humbling experience of my life thus far. I tried teaching and telling everyone about these experiences, but to no avail. See, so now it's like, how about now, everybody? Because now I'm kind of famous. You know, I mean, I do get this from this. It's pretty weird. It sounds like she's trying to become this new sort of sensible leader. You know, I don't know what her intentions are. I was taught truth from error and could see all the sins. It was the most humbling experience ever. Okay. I tried holding on to... Oh yeah, it says right here. I tried teaching and telling everyone about these experiences, but to no avail. Most people didn't get it. Oh, but you do, because you are so much more enlightened and smarter than everybody else. I tried holding on to this light, but as life would teach me, I had more to learn, more pride to discover as time went on. Satan came knocking as I desired to retain or get back that light I once had. I was now being tested at a higher level. Oh man, did I not see this one coming. I met Lori Vallow, and we seemed to have similar spiritual experiences. She was full of light and radiated a great love of the Lord, as I thought anyway. She shared, as she would believe in her own way, some sacred experiences she had. I believed her. She was just as enthusiastic as I was. She told me I was part of the 144,000, as she was, and it was part of her commission to help others become part of it as well. There were some deceptions I had which I did not understand at the time that were from Satan. Okay, so everything, see, here's what's ludicrous to me is every single thing that she did in error was from Satan. Other than that, she would be a perfect person, right? How about sometimes humans are just idiots, okay? It's crazy. Why not, Lulu? What happened, Lulu? Are you okay, Lulu? What do you mean it's 10 to 11 minutes in? Yeah. So she's sitting there talking about to help others become part of it as well. There were some deceptions I had, which I did not understand at the time, that were from Satan. No, maybe it was just you being an idiot. Okay? It's, yeah. Doesn't seem like Lulu likes this channel too much. I'm going to have to put that one on timeout. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I put this all back together into a PDF file so I could go through it. Chad and Lori met, and Chad seemed to have all the answers she was desiring. See, I believe some of the stuff she's saying here. She had learned about multiple probations from the internet and really believed she was married to Moroni. I think what they should do is get rid of the I at the end of that, and it would make a lot more sense. Married to a moron. All right, just get rid of the I there. She heard him often talk to her, according to Lori. Chad informed her she had been married to him before. Chad also informed her that they had been married multiple times, one being when he was James the Less from the Bible. Wow! Isn't that amazing that sometimes, these people that have multiple, quote, probations, they always come back, or their previous lives are always something really amazing. Wow, yes. In my previous life, I was Genghis Khan, right? Hey, listen. How come you were never Jim, the shoe fixer? Whatever the hell you call those people. Okay? You're never those people. Or Bob the cow milker. Instead, you're from the Bible. You're so amazing. It's just so ridiculous. He told Lori that they were each other's favorites. She fell madly infatuated with him. Lori loved his spiritual gifts, and he claimed to have the veil opened a little all the time. Here's the thing is the veil, I guess, that's where you're in God's world. Well, that's what she describes later on. Opened a little all the time and asked the Lord to close it because he just saw too much. Oh, God. He trusted me so much, the Lord did, by letting me see behind the veil. And oh, God, I saw too much. I'm burdened with so much wisdom. Yeah. Opened a little all the time and asked the Lord to close it because he saw too much. They felt it was okay to have this infatuated love because Jesus knew it was their mission to be the head of the 144,000. And they had been married multiple times. And then, in brackets, of course, that is not true. Except you believed it when you were there. But now it's, oh, it's the word of the Satan. I was deceived. It's not my fault for being dumb. It's just... As Charles was supposed to die, according to the visions, Lori... see, this is what I've been talking about. This exact little thing that she mentions right here is kind of what I've been talking about. I thought it was weird that Lori, after Chad said, oh, he's supposed to die, you know, and then he didn't die, then Lori, you know, Lori had to kind of make it happen. As Charles was supposed to die, according to the visions Lori had of him dying, she was greatly disappointed when he didn't. Chad and Lori were so anxious to be together that Chad devised a plan and called Lori to let her know that Charles was taken over. See, I think, so if this is a plan they both put together, that's apparently what Melanie's saying. I can believe that. But it also seems, you know, like it seems like something Chad would come up with so that Lori would think that Charles was a zombie. But it says they came up with a plan and called Lori to let her know that Charles was taken over by an unclean spirit, Nick Schneider, of course, and was no longer Charles anymore. These unclean spirits would later be called zombies. I was there when this happened, and Lori seemed a little overwhelmed by this idea, but wanted to believe Chad. See, this is exactly what I was thinking right here. Now I want to share with you what the Lord taught me after my disconnection from them. He started to teach me that when we really want something really badly, that is when Satan comes knocking. Some of us want to see the Lord, some of us want visions, etc. Some of us want to be important, you mean like biblical characters, and to awaken others. This is where Satan tries us, and the Lord allows it because of agency. I'm not sure I know what agency means. He wants us to learn for ourselves how to discern good from evil. One of the major techniques of the devil is to cause human beings to think they're following God's ways, when in reality they are deceived by the devil to follow other paths. No, sometimes people are just stupid. See, you were following Chad and Lori because you know you're not very bright, all right? And Chad was a monster. He wasn't the devil or anything. He's just one of the other types of people that are on the planet. And he came up with a horrific, you know, like a strategy so they could start eliminating people they didn't want. Okay? Now, is that what that means? Make your own choices? Okay. Yeah. Chad and Lori were always telling me, I don't want to read all these biblical phrases. Chad and Lori were always telling me about all the weapons, fiery darts, and more that were launched by Satan. I told both of them that if they had been following the Lord, they would have been protected against all of the fiery darts. But interestingly, Lori said it was because Satan hates her. The Bible dictionary teaches us that protection against the influences of the devil is found by obedience to the commandments and laws of the gospel of Jesus. This is another way he got in trouble with, with opening. No, actually, I got a page in between there. Alright, right down here. I saw him twice with a... This is creepy right here. Listen to this. Chad told Lori he was getting information from the Book of Life, that he had access to it. He created a portal and would ask questions with a pendulum. I saw him twice with a gold-colored pointy pendulum with a string attached. The last time I saw Chad and Lori, he asked questions with the pendulum to see if people were light or dark. That was troubling to me. I thought this is how he gets his answers. I thought this is how he gets his answers? He told Lori that Peter, James, and John came to him in 2017 in the mountains. Man, Jesus. Chad is really, he is biblical at this point. He's amazing. I mean, he's like Moses, right? Up in the mountains. This is another way he got in trouble with opening the doors of darkness. He started doing energy work before Lori met him. When you open doors, as one does in energy work, they talk to angels, deceased relatives, etc. See, here's the thing is she believes this part right here. You know, like, oh yeah, this is all real shit. No, it's stupid. It doesn't happen, okay? When you open doors, as one does in energy work, they talk to angels, deceased relatives, etc. From the other side of the veil, they proclaim. What did Jesus teach us after prayer? He taught us to pray directly to Father, not to anyone else. There are many people who pray to their dead ancestors or communicate with them, but I want you to really think about this. See, she's trying to teach here, you see? So she's trying to like become a new leader here. You don't know who you're talking. You don't know who you are talking to, a clean or unclean spirit. Look what happened to Korahor. The devil. I don't want to read that. It takes knowledge and experience to detect an evil spirit in the form of an angel. We don't need to be asking for things we are not able to detect. Let the Lord lead you. Trust Him with your salvation. We are not often wise enough to know all the deceptions, so we need to be careful trying to seek the Lord's face when we are not humble, broken-hearted, and stripped of all pride. This is a great deception the adversary uses. Adversary, I mean. This is crazy. Okay. So, you know, you can tell, don't you guys feel how she's trying to kind of almost preach to maybe a new sort of offshoot coming? Yeah. It takes knowledge and experience to detect an evil spirit in form of an angel. We don't need to ask. Okay. Think about it, please. It shows she's like, think about it, please. When one is doing energy work, they often ask, and that's what Julie Rowe does. So I'm wondering if she's sort of trying to make sure she's taking Julie Rowe's people now. Energy work, they often ask for things when they should be asking the Lord themselves. We are leaning upon another for revelation, for future events, etc. The Lord does not work like that. The Lord puts this in my mind one day. Do not put your trust in the arm of flesh. Think about muscle testing. I don't even know what that is. I know many of you believe in this. You are literally putting your trust in the arm of flesh. Wow. The Lord told me straight. Why couldn't I see this before? Is there validity to any of these techniques? Sure. No, there's not. Okay? But here's the thing. You think they're valid, but as soon as something weird happens when in the belief of that, then, oh my God, it's Satan. Okay? Why couldn't I see this before? Why would you want to trust in someone else to tell you about you? You should be listening to the Spirit. The still small voice is something quiet, private, and beautiful to the soul. Alright, when you start talking about weapons being thrown at you, the Lord has taught me that it is when you are opening dark doors. Because of the before-mentioned scripture, the Lord says he would protect you against all the fiery darts if you are faithful, listening to unclean spirits communicating things to you that seem truthful and a very easy way to be deceived. Fear also will create such attacks, but perfect love casteth out all fear. Just put love in your heart towards all, and you will bring peace to all situations. Love is so powerful that fear cowers in its beauty. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is just more, you know, just really religious stuff. Hey, thanks, Half Rudder. Trying to get you to know about things. Let's see. Have you ever pondered what are the doctrines of devils? They tell the future, always trying to get you to know about things you shouldn't be asking, about other lives. There is a reason. Oh, she put, I am an atheist and thankful that this is all bullshit to me. Yeah. Yeah. Puts a veil between him. There's a reason. See, here's, we get a little bit of a description of the veil here. There is a reason God put a veil between him and us to teach us faith. If God wanted us to know about these things, it would be in the scriptures. Many of you believe in multiple probations, so that's multiple lives on this forum, and the Lord has taught me that good. What good is this knowledge? Does it bear good fruit? That sounds like something from the Handmaid's Tale there. It led to murder, committing adultery, and a trail of lies. You put trial. Does that sound like something God would want them to know about, thinking that they had been married before? These are what the secret combinations are about. She goes on and quotes scripture. Let me just go to this last part where she's just talking. If you guys want to read every single bit of it, go to the links that are in the description. Did Lori and Chad bring thousands of souls into Christ? Did they help many people repent and turn back to God? Do these ideas of multiple lives help bring souls under Christ? Does opening these doors through energy work really help bring us to God and rely upon Him only? We should be seeking God's voice for all our answers if we want to hear from Him, not from others on the other side of the veil. I wanted to bring purpose for why Tammy, Charles, JJ, and Tylee died. I know Tammy and Charles would want me to tell the world of these dangers of believing such doctrines. I know they would want their children to know the truth. Let's make their deaths matter in stopping these evil doctrines and become humble. How about just quit believing any of this bullshit, okay? That might be a good start. See, you sort of want to keep believing in the bullshit, but just sort of be on a little different sort of moral level of it, okay? You're sort of just trying to sort of separate you a little bit, but you still believe in a whole bunch of just total crap right here. God. Freedom comes from giving all your sins to Him, then you will know the truth from error, from the Spirit will teach you personally about everything, especially your errors. He's wonderful. God taught me this. Yesterday's faith is not sufficient for today's storm. Our faith will require us to stretch and grow more to build a stronger foundation. This is how we grow our faith. We must endure all our trials with growing faith from seed to great tree. When you climb a mountain and get to the top, you've reached the climax, and then you must go back down to start another mountain. But this mountain will be bigger and will require new skills, more knowledge, help along the way. And if you fall, the fall is much more dangerous than the first mountain you climbed. As you get to the top of each mountain, the views are glorious to behold, but each mountain has new views and more powerful teachings. Be careful and understand that every time you reach a new mountain, sounds like a new church going to be started here, you know. It only costs you $1,000 to climb a mountain. And then, of course, it's $5,000 to climb this mountain, and $10 to... And make sure you don't sin when you descend. Be careful not to be asking for things you are not ready for. The Lord teaches us to ask the Spirit. If we obey, and the more obedient we become, our faith increases, and we are taught a better way, not by deception. If we are humble, boy, did I learn the hard way. Yikes. He also taught me in Lehi's dream that when you partake of the tree of life, don't leave the tree and try to lead others back with you. It doesn't work that way. That was what the Lord taught me about myself. I love helping others, but I kept leaving the tree because it was so delicious. I wanted everyone else to taste it too. What a lesson he taught me. Man, you sound like you'd be a great leader at this point. My heart is so broken because of what happened to all these who were murdered and those who I once called my friends. I have forgiven all because I know this was Satan's work. Oh, yeah, of course. And God took all hatred and evil out of my heart years ago when he changed my heart and gave me a new one. I cannot begin to understand all the pain the family members have suffered who lost their loved ones. I know it has affected me forever. I will never forget it. My understanding about Satan and Christ are so much more discerning than ever before. I have learned so much, and one thing I know is that I want to only follow Christ. I love the peace and joy he brings when we obey him. Yeah, wow. He truly is the only path to walk on, for we cannot serve two masters. I leave my testimony of the gospel of Jesus. He is mighty to change your heart and soul where there is peace and joy in this life. Oh, let's see. Oh, how I love and adore him. Oh, how I love and adore him. My foundation has never been stronger, and I have come to learn so much about myself from these experiences, and I hope you can learn from this tragedy as well. We must always follow the pattern of God in all things. He does not walk in dark and crooked paths ever. He touches us to follow only him and follow him, his chosen representative, our beloved prophet, President Russell M. Nelson. I don't know why that was funny, but it just is. Man, you have all those good things to say. Only follow Jesus and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you say, oh yeah, and our beloved prophet, President Russell M. Nelson. I don't know why that was funny to me, but maybe that's some high-level guy in the Mormon church. I don't know. Okay, it's just the way she wrote it. Like she was never talking about it was even part of what she was saying, is don't follow other people, just follow Jesus. Oh, and Russell M. Nelson. Thanks, Zozo. So at the very end, she says, He is our God, prophet on earth, and we must follow Christ's pattern so we won't be deceived if we are to be with him someday. So they're saying that this Russell M. Nelson is their God, prophet on earth that represents, you know, sort of the human voice of God or something like that. Yeah, it says, He is our God's prophet on earth, and we must follow Christ's pattern so we won't be deceived if we are to be with him someday. I know that the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints is God's true church on earth, and I am privileged to be a member of it. I know God is my Father and his Son is my Savior. I will always love them. I am grateful for the great love I have for the Holy Ghost who teaches us all things with love. Melanie Gibb. All right. Well, I don't know about you, but yeah, that made a whole bunch of sense. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, here's what it really is how about this? Quit believing in all these crazy shit like energy work and, you know, anything at all that is mystical like that. Okay? Because that's where your problem is. Because whatever you're saying is going to shoot off into some other bullshit somewhere else. That's all I can say. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think she should be locked up. I just think she's absolutely, you know, I think humble is the last word that you could ever use to describe her. Because a humble person would admit that their stupidity is what made them believe, not that they were deceived by the devil, right? See, a humble person would actually be self-deprecating. Like, you would be like, yeah, geez, man, I can't believe I bought that. You know? It wasn't like the devil isn't what did it. It was your idiocy, okay? That's the truth. Yeah, there's no humbleness going on there whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually pretty disappointing. She should have just been really railing on her own self, not that she was deceived by the devil. You know, because then it's like, wow, well, the devil's powerful. You had no chance against his deception. You know? No, it's okay, because like, here's what she would say. If she went like this, hey, everybody, you guys are idiots. 2 times 5 is 72. And then you said, no, it's 10. And then she'd say, well, I was deceived by the devil. Yeah. Well, no, it really wasn't you being deceived by the devil. It was that your brain doesn't work correctly. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just doing my show. I'm just reading some stuff. Yeah. Lots of wild stuff out there. So you guys ready to switch over to Alex? You know, we can just go over Alex and then people can call in and discuss what they think his role was. I don't really have any more to say about Melanie Gibb. You know, what she said in this letter, though, is exactly what I was thinking was going to be the what she was trying to get at, even with the interview with Nate. Just the way she was being. Right at the end, she started to almost preach a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, it's just dumb as a box of rocks. I mean, just the way it is. Just the way it is. Yeah, we've been saying that for the whole time, Joe and Ann Smith. Nothing new.
What do we have? Photo radar. Give it up for photo radar.
Yeah. I don't know, you guys have, most of you probably have seen these, but look at this. This is when Chad's a comedian. But these are all back in like 2007. This is around the time when he attacked Joseph, and he actually brings up the attack on Joseph in one of these videos. Right? But so there's the phone number there, you guys, if you guys want to.
What do we have? Photo radar. Give it up for photo radar. Yes. Hate photo radar. Last month I was late for an appointment. I went home and got down to 60. Yesterday in the mail they sent me a photo album. Brother's a DJ here on Moving 97.5, and he gave me backstage passes to go meet Britney Spears. And I thought that was cool because I never met a celebrity that big, and I thought, oh, I'll get her a gift because I don't know the proper protocol or anything. So I gave her the gift, and she was really sweet. She was very appreciative, but she seemed a little confused by the gift, like she didn't know what it was. I got her.
You know, I was thinking of making this video where you take shots like this, and then you cut right back to him sitting on the ground in front of the house after he killed Charles. Then you go back to another one of his jokes. And then you go back to him sitting in the car asking the cop about, and then go back, you just kind of keep going back and forth.
Underwear. And it had a little aloe vera lining because the last time I saw her, it looked tired. That's all I'm saying. It was a little tired. Before I did that job, I had a job that I thought was worse. I was a telemarketer at MCI. So I had to.
I want to know if I have a friend that's a comedian. He's like high level comedian. I wonder if he knows him at all. Because my friend used to do the Troops too, and it sounds like this guy does too.
Pretend to be other people.
Alex, not this guy.
When I would call because I was embarrassed to work there. And sometimes I call people as the water boy.
Yes, hello. May I speak to Megan, please? Megan, I just want to tell you that Mom.
But you know what's weird about this guy is like back here, he doesn't really have any of these crazy religious beliefs or anything. He's just a comedian and kind of a criminal type.
My mama said that the AT&T is the devil, and you should switch. And now you know that.
Anyways, I don't want to go through that whole thing. Then there's this one here. It's a little bit clearer.
Nice. You guys look good. Sangria, how you guys doing? Nice. You guys look good. Make me wish I was straight.
He said he makes a wish he was straight, and he said, I'm just kidding. And then all these people go, hey, he's gay. Did you hear what he said? He's gay. He's gay. And what difference does it make if he's gay or not? Right? But he didn't even say that, though, either. He said, makes me wish I was straight. Just kidding.
My name's Alex Cox. When I was in the 8th grade, I actually learned that my real name was also my porn star name.
I don't think I played enough of it. That's why I skipped it through.
Driving up tonight, I drove out from Queen Creek, and it took me 11 hours. apparently all the snowbirds don't live out of state, because I was behind this lady, and I'm just thinking, I would really love to drive this lady into a ditch. You know, would have felt better. And I'm thinking, should there be a law that if your maximum driving speed is lower than Nancy Pelosi's IQ, you shouldn't be driving anymore, should you?
Hey, now that one I agreed with.
He agrees. Just like, I don't know what you said.
The IQ part.
But we don't have that for a law. What do we have? Photo fucking radar. Give it up if you hate photo radar. I am with you. I was late for an appointment last month, and when Holland asked down to 60, yesterday in the mail they sent me one of those photo albums. Oh, you're lefty. Clockwise. People try and sell you shit while you're getting gas. I'm like, no thanks, I'm not looking for a uncovered $20 blowjob, but appreciate it, officer. Thanks. Need that. I was fortunate enough to do a little jail time last year. I'll confess to you guys.
See, look, this is actually a real story here, but well, I mean, I don't know. Well, hold on, let's just listen to it.
Confess to you guys. You ever had something that you knew was the right thing to do, but it turns out that later on it was a felony? This is a true story. I found out that my ex-brother-in-law was a pedophile, so I took a stun gun and I discharged it right in his nutsack. And I did. And in Texas, that's a felony. I'm thinking, you know, maybe I'll get a handshake or a parade or something. I got probation.
Yeah, so what's interesting about that is that, you know, Colby also said, he does say, you know, he does say that he was abused by Joseph. Even now he says that. So I don't know what that really means, you know. And Annie Cushing is the brother of Joseph. But you guys have heard Colby say that, right? So he actually does say that Joseph abused him at some point. And then here you go, you got him saying, oh, but I don't know. That's coming right from Colby's mouth, though. It's not something that Lori told Alex. So I'm not really sure, you know, how to, you know, maybe he's telling the complete truth right here in this joke. You know, we don't know. I don't know why, if it wasn't true, I don't know why Colby would still be telling that part, because he's kind of been pretty honest about some of the other stuff, right? So I find that pretty interesting. All right, anyways. So
they arrested me here and they held me out here in jail, and I learned something when I was here at Maricopa County Jail. I learned that I was the only white guy in there.
Yes, and don't forget to support the channel, because we're trying to build up the funds for the end of the month charity drive, or whatever you want to call it, where we donate to charity.
That did not consider crystal meth one of the 4 major food groups. Remember the last guy here from Superior? Meth capital of the fucking planet.
Yeah, see, I can't see why Colby would lie about that. Because he actually reversed what Lori had been saying about Charles. He said, no, Charles was a really great guy. He never did anything wrong. He didn't do... Now, could it be that Colby never really was abused, but Lori sort of made him feel like he was, and then that's something he remembered? I don't know how old he was at that time. He might have been I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Lori fed that to him or not. I'd like to actually know the circumstances behind that. Hey, thank you, Jennifer Scarpa. I was almost starting to say your last name first.
I think they invented it there.
Yeah, I think Colby's being truthful, but how do we know for sure? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to throw Joseph under the bus, because he's not here to defend himself. And Colby, you know... He's a little dicey here and there. You know, you sort of... I know everybody likes him and everything, but I don't know. One thing I'm saying though is that Colby did say that, and Alex right here is basically saying that same thing, and explains a little bit on why he attacked Joseph. But isn't it also exactly the same thing? You know those stories you always see on IDTV where you've got this lady and she doesn't want to be with her husband anymore, so convinces a guy, you know, a lot of times it's a guy that likes her, you know, but in this case a brother, and says, hey, he's abusing your nephew. And then she keeps selling it to Alex over and over again. So then he goes and grabs a stun gun and tries to do that, right? And then that one, now that brings into context more the message that Alex sent a while back that mentioned, oh, he'd be somebody they'd like here in prison or something, you know, or these prisoners would love somebody like him. Remember that? So that makes sense now, because pedophiles are people that in prison don't do well, or even when the prisoners get out, they're more than happy to do something. Hey, thanks, Mandy Scott. Yeah, I mean that is one thing too. I was thinking, well, you know, it's not something you'd want to just say. Yeah. Well, because he was for sure a zombie, right? Yeah. So I'd like to have more information on that. Was it ever proven? I mean, was there ever charges pressed against him? Anything like that? I don't know what they didn't have Colby. They had him. They didn't talk about zombies, but his dark and light settings. What do we have for that? Let me find that document. We got so many in here now. Is it this one? No. Yeah, there's so many documents now. Maybe I have it up. Let me check my. I have a folder, I think, on this. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I got it. So here's the light and dark meters, right? There's only 2 people on the Earth that are. Well, there's 2 females and 5 males that are 6, but there's nobody that's a 5.3. Yeah, she said it was disproved. I mean, how did she disprove it, though? You know what I mean? Why is Colby still saying that, then? Yeah, so here's all the readings here. Barry Cox. I think that's the brother that was a DJ, I think, if I remember right. Colby's 3L, and Kelsey is 3D. I mean, it's so classic, because his wife doesn't buy into all their shit. She's a 3 dark. See, everything that they do has a political meaning. They're trying to get something out of it. Hey, thanks, Peggy. Peggy Kelly. Appreciate it. Oh, Barry's Lori's dad? Okay. That's right. Yeah, Barry and Janice. And then, that's right, Adam is the DJ brother. So it's and then Stacy is Melanie's mom, if I remember right. So it's Stacy, Alex, Adam, and Lori. So I guess they have 5 siblings. Laura here, if they're putting her right in that same line there. So Laura was 3 light on Earth, has graduated to 4.1. How does that sound, Lori? Does that sound good? I give her an extra bonus point up there. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. You'll get a little something extra tonight. Let's see. Now look at Joseph Ryan. 4.3 dark is now sealed away into oblivion. Third husband Joseph Ryan. 4.3 dark, and his daughter was a 4.1 dark. So let me ask you this: when they say the dark and light, is that the spirit that the actual Tylee, or the evil spirit that took over the body, making them a zombie? See, I'm kind of confused at that part of it, because wouldn't it be doubly bad to? Okay, how about this? Why would you want to free a zombie that is a 4.3 dark in the real... Okay, never mind, not zombie. Okay, let me just do this over again. So if you had... Let's see. If you have JJ and Tylee, whose spirits have been removed from their vessel by 2 zombies, but Tylee is a 4.1 dark. Why on earth would you want to kill the zombie that once had Tylee, the vessel? Why would you kill Tylee's body, freeing, the 4.3 dark into behind the veil, right? It's ridiculous stuff here, everybody. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? Why is 4.1 a very interesting ranking? Yeah, well, you're making her really dark. I am trying to put logic to it. I am. Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? That's what we do on this channel. We use logic and reason. Okay. There's just very little here. Oh, wait a minute, everybody. We can't figure it out. You know why? Because we've been deceived by the devil. Okay, there we go. I totally agree with that, Sarah. What Sarah just typed in there, that's what I've been saying. It's all stuff that they just put together to help them out. And then you just deleted the comment that I agreed with. Jeez. What was the traumatic event, by the way, that allowed zombies into JJ and Tylee's body? Well, it was the shooting of Charles, don't you know? Oh, so it's your fault, Lori, that you shoot Charles because he's a zombie, using your brother Alex because he really believed he was a zombie, and he shot him twice in the chest, and that very event created a traumatic event allowing JJ and Tylee to be overtaken by an evil spirit, making them, their physical bodies, a zombie. It's now being held by 2 spirits that have names, but shall go nameless at this point. And so, at that point, they needed to be killed too, right? The bodies. Because Lori is a great mom. She is one of the most thoughtful parents there ever was, because she knew that by killing the physical being of JJ and Tylee and the evil spirits that inhabited the mere shells. It would free JJ and Tylee spirits from limbo to go back behind the veil and be with family. Now, why would you want, though, Tylee, who's a 4.1 dark, to go back behind the veil and hang out with your family members? Man, that makes no sense at all, man. That's brutal. If anybody can explain that to me, let me know. I know it makes too much sense what I'm saying. It's just, well, you know, you don't get it. Look at what it is. It's sort of a different... Okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what it was. Belinda. It was like... I don't know. What's that show? Supernatural. Can you believe... You know that show Supernatural? That sucker's 15 seasons. I mean, that's insane. That's like a soap opera, but it's a show. I mean, that's amazing. Who's 4.2L? Yeah, I've got it on the screen here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but here, right here, look. Oh, that's right. We're talking about JJ. Yeah. So over here we got Colby is 3L and his wife is a 3D because she was causing waves. Joseph, 4.3 dark. Hold on. Where's Joseph? Where's Joshua on here? I don't see him. I know he was a light though, like 4 point something light. I just can't see it. So Tylee's right there. Okay. Yeah, I know he was, I think I'm just missing it here, but he was like a 4 point, okay, 4.2 light, right. So it's weird that, you know, Tylee's the exact opposite. And he must be referring to JJ's soul, his spirit, not the zombie, obviously. So JJ was this 4.2 light. Okay, and the reason they put, you know, it's weird because I don't understand why they didn't give Tylee also a light reading. You know, like it's strange. What do they have? Let me see what they have for Charles here. See, he's a 3 light. See, they're saying that his original soul, like the guy that Lori fell in love with, you know, if we even believe that, was a 3 light, okay? But he was taken over by Ned Schneider. And of course, the loving Lori, to free the man she once loved, his spirit, she had to kill the body that was now inhabited by Nick Schneider. Right, but you would think they would have labeled her as a light, because almost everything that they put in here is sort of this political thing, trying to convince somebody else to do something. That's why it's weird that you know, here's the thing, is they've already deemed her a zombie, right? So why do they need to degrade her by giving her a 4.2D. You get what I'm saying? She's already a zombie, so they know they have to kill the body to free her. So why would they do that? You get what I'm saying? Sean Beecham. Yeah, there's it's just a lot of interesting stuff in here. All right, so let's get the timeline out again. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll just go type in everything to do with Alex. His name's going to show up 1,000 times. Charles Vallow, shot and killed by Lori Vallow's brother, Alex. Now, apparently there was this big event where they were fighting, too. Lori and Alex. Some neighbors said that they were in this big fight out in the street. I don't know exactly when that was, but they had that. I don't know if she had life insurance or not on the kids. All right, and then Alex was married to Zelima Pastines. Joseph Ryan. Now here's that part. Cox went to jail for assaulting Ryan with a stun gun. Allegedly threatened to kill Ryan. Also, Lori Vallow was the only next of kin the Emmy's office had at the time of Ryan's death. That's pretty crazy. Okay, and this is the event. August 5th, 2007. Cox is arrested in Austin, Texas for aggravated assault. August 2008, Alex Cox sends a friend a letter asking her to send him Joseph Ryan's picture, address, and license plate number in jail, stating once that it would be popular in here. Okay, yeah, a pedophile picture, and that's what he's thinking when he said that. I didn't realize that at the time when we read it the first time. Well, does anybody want to call in about Alex? The phone number's right there. Are there people on hold, or what am I doing here? You guys suck. Jesus. How's it going, Dolores? And you know I'm not serious, okay? For those.
Did you hear Gray? He said everybody's soft. Oh, God, he's so mean to everybody.
Yeah, well, he was just joking around.
I know, but wow, it's so mean.
God, I didn't think it was that mean. Jeez. Uh-oh. Oh, my God. Somebody said, Gray is so mean. I have a different jail on this one now. Look at it. Watch. This one's just for you. Look at it. Brand new one on this streaming. Look how big my head is. Really thin bars. I feel like I could just rip those open. Yep, there it is. Look at that one. It's a different jail, though, Libra Scales. Maybe I should make my head smaller, though. In there. Hold on, let me... Yeah, maybe if I go like that. There we go. That looks more reasonable. Yep, the So Mean Jail, they call it. There's Mag. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You know? I was just saying what Mary Lou was saying, and then you guys sent me in there. Thanks, Mag, Dadio, Caspian Horses Rock, Sarah Brown, and Rachel. Man, I'm going to go get some more of those Kit Kat bars that I was thinking about. All right. I'm back. And Sean Beecham. Do Mary and I will let you go out. You out. Yeah, that's a pretty stiff jail cell there, I'll tell you that. I need to come up with I'm going to figure out some more stuff for that, like an animation. Yeah, the dark chocolate Kit Kat bars, they're pretty good. Oh, wow. Yes, if I run into Alex Cox, well, I can't now because he's not alive, but thanks, Chrissy. Chrissy Paradis. Oh, and there's Onesley. What does that mean? Onesley Angel? Or Firstly Angel? Let the meanie out! Let the meanie out! Okay. As well as with her brother Alex Cox, who lived... Okay. Let me get to the next Alex reference here. Thank you, guys, for getting me the hell out of there. And building up the funds for the end of the month. Yeah, I gotta figure out the whole... I'm gonna make an actual animation, I think. Using 3D Studio Max or something. You just saw a portal? Whoa! Thanks, Rebecca N. Oh, I haven't said Sherlock Hemlock? Man, everything was shooting by so fast. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Sherlock Hemlock.
Yeah, great. How did you miss Sherlock Hemlock?
Wait, you talking to me? You guys are usually talking to you and John Boy.
Yeah, idiot, I'm talking to you. Say Sherlock Hemlock. Sherlock Hemlock, Sherlock Hemlock, Sherlock Hemlock, Sherlock Hemlock, Sherlock Hemlock.
Okay, thanks, Sherlock Hemlock. Jeez. Yeah, you got kind of bunched up in there that one time. But anyways, I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, it makes it harder too because there's no audio on this. Whenever I have the call-in shows, which nobody's calling in, I have the... there's no audio from the super chats. It just scrolls by, so I missed some of them. No, I had some Snickers. I like frozen Snickers. Ooh. Kit Kats are 4.2 dark. Nice. That's pretty good. All right, here we go. Another reference to Alex. Charles Vallow files documents asking for temporary custody of JJ, exclusive use of the house and vehicle, return of the stolen money, and return of his and JJ's personal items. Several attempts were made to serve Lori, but process servers were unsuccessful even though Lori's car was seen in Alex Cox's driveway when a server tried to serve her there. She was reportedly living with her brother Alex Cox at the time. That was during that 90 days that she took off. Oh, right here. Mid-February 2019, the Daily Mail, which, I mean, it's the Daily Mail, okay, reported in January of 2020 that Lori Vallow and Alex Cox That's when they reported it, though. Had a knockdown, drag-out fight in the middle of the street while she was living with him around a year ago. So that's during that 90-day period of time that she disappeared with just Tylee, I think. Interesting. And then this is July 11th. This is when Charles Vallow was shot by Alex Cox, that comedian that we all love so much. Wow, thank you, Dottie-O, Caspian Horses Rock. Oh, and Sherlock Hemlock, Sherlock Hemlock, Sherlock Hemlock, Sherlock Hemlock. Another cover-up. What's another cover-up? Oh, yeah, right, yep. He took her, Zulima's last name to try to hide. I think he was sort of panicking at the end there. He may have died just from being so stressed out. I mean, just imagine. You kill all these different people. I think Alex killed Charles, JJ, Tylee. I do not think he killed Tammy. I think, you know, just the whole lust angle. I think Chad killed Tammy, and I think Alex killed all three of the other, the two children and Charles. That's just my opinion, okay? And obviously Lori controls Alex, so Alex was just sort of a proxy for her killing all three of those people, right? However, like I've stated, Alex is going to be the scapegoat of the entire case for Chad and Lori. And what they're going to say is, yes, we had crazy beliefs. We talked about, you know, the whole zombie thing, and then they'll explain what a zombie is. And then they're going to talk about the dark and light, and they're going to explain what that is. And then they're going to say that, but they didn't realize that Alex was actually going to act out on those beliefs. We didn't realize it. Alex, he killed Charles, but I thought it was self-defense, Lori might say. Lori will say, I thought it was self-defense, but now when I look back at it, given what happened to the kids, I think he did believe that Charles was a zombie and killed him. But then the prosecution could come back and say, well, Lori, you thought he was a zombie too and thought he was going to die because you had private conversations with Charles and he wrote down what you said. Yeah, but I didn't do anything. I would never have actually killed him because I thought he was a zombie. I was just telling him that to freak him out. Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically Alex, that's what it's going to be said, is that Alex killed them on his own, and then they killed the two kids. When Alex killed the two kids, they panicked, buried them in the yard, sort of a quick thing. They didn't, you know, they panicked, even though during that time, hey, listen, Charles, here's what I would say if I was a prosecution. Hey, Chad, you didn't look like you were panicking that much, because when we see you at the storage unit, you're patting Lori on the ass. Now, if you were really panicking about that, would you be doing that? Man, I've already come up with the good arguments back to him. All right, let me get this. Cindy, you're on the air.
Hi, I'm a pretty new listener to you, but I've really enjoyed a lot of your discussions, and I do have some opinions on this. And they're pretty much in line with you. I kind of think Alex was just Lori's minion, basically. Yeah. I mean, was he an older brother or a younger brother?
Yeah, you know, I thought he was younger, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
I thought, but I mean,
well, I think if it's younger, it definitely falls in line, because I think a lot of younger brothers, you know, they'll do pretty much anything their sisters want them to do. I mean, they want to be a protector. I have two older brothers, and I mean, I don't know that they'd kill someone for me, but they definitely always have, you know, stood up for me in a lot of ways. So, but I also think I really think that a lot of people think Lori's so smart, and I think she's just really like
Dumb.
dumb. I do.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think she's dumb. She's just really a stupid, gullible person.
Right. I think she just believed everything Chad said to her, and so I think, you know, the smirk and everything was because, oh, we took care of these zombies, and
Yeah.
you all are gonna not be around anyways when the world comes to an end, and we've taken care of what we need to, and
Yeah,
so-
I totally agree with that. I think she was smiling, and you know, it took me a while to come to this, but like she was smiling not because of Duper's delight, like everybody wants to. It's more that she really believed that when she says, "Oh, the kids are doing fine," that they freed their souls or their spirits back into behind the veil, right? Because they were stuck in. But the part that always bugs me a little bit is that she, once Charles didn't die when predicted, she made sure of it. Which though you can go right back to the zombie thing again, right? Because you can say, well, they believed he was a zombie, so why would they let him still be alive? You know. Right. Anyways.
And I think, you know, and I don't even think, I know a lot of people feel like she's probably scrambling for a defense. In my own opinion, she's probably not really scrambling yet because her end of the world day hasn't come yet. So I think he's cool as a cucumber because he's just a nut wad in my opinion. I mean, I don't know what his deal is, but I don't think he's stupid. I think he's just, there's something wrong with him.
You're talking about Chad?
Chad, yeah. So
well, he's just like every other cult leader, though. So you notice how we all think, oh, he's just this little dweeby guy, but the thing is everybody that's ever been with him and met him always thought he was kind of, you know, soft-spoken, but really sort of powerful and kind of leader type, you know. So he's just like every other cult leader.
Right. You know? Cult leaders, I mean, if you think about a lot of them, that's the truth. They were more like outcasts, but somehow figured out how to kind of use their charisma on people or whatever.
So you know he doesn't believe anything that the entire cult thing. I think he literally just came up with all these different rules and charts and you know, things like that, just to sort of to get done what he wanted done to form his cult.
Right. I would agree, but that's why I think he looks so unaffected while he's being, you know, arrested and everything, because I think he feels like Lori will never turn on him, and I think she probably still believes it all right now. I just don't see the scrambling that I hear a lot of people talking about, but I could totally be wrong, but that's just kind of my theory on the whole thing.
No, I think it's pretty. I mean, I think we're pretty much in line there. So so Alex, so you just think is just some sort of
I think it was just a minion who did her bidding, you know. She would basically say, you know, she'd probably like had a lot of influence on him because if she was his big sister, I could see it probably more so. Although, like I say, I know my two older brothers would literally do anything for me if they thought if I said someone was a zombie and chasing me, you know, they'd probably go take care of him. I don't know that they'd kill him, but
they might not believe he was an actual zombie, though, right?
Right, exactly. But you know, they take issue with the person.
Well, according to Melanie Gibb, Alex really believed all that stuff.
Right.
And I bet you Alex was so wanting to please Lori and be part of that group that he sort of was willing to put aside any sort of rational thought and eventually... See, that's the part that's weird. I mean, like, he's a comedian, right?
Right.
And comedians are pretty good at sort of observing life, and they can even joke about it and make something funny that sort of everybody else sees in a regular way, and they kind of twist it around. So it's weird that he was able to get sucked so far into something, if he really was, right? Or was he just doing these things because he knew his sister really believed it, and then he would act like he believed it to other people, like Melanie thought he really believed it, but did he really, you know?
Yeah,
we'll never
I mean,
know.
but comedians usually have a little bit of a dark side too.
Oh,
so
that's
if
true. Yeah.
could tap into that somehow, that depression, or I don't know. That's kind of been my experience with people who are
Yeah.
comedians. Is
Yeah.
They've got that other side of their
Just like psychologists, right?
yeah.
Psychologists, they say the same thing. Like a lot of psychologists have something that went on. I'm not going to say most, but a lot.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I just think with Alex, he was probably like, especially I wish I knew if he was a younger brother or not, because he's like the little buddy that wants to join the clubhouse. You know what I mean? So they turn him into the henchman. Yeah, you can join if you'll do this for us. We need you to do this for us.
I mean, we pretty much labeled him a hitman from the beginning.
Right. I know. I saw that.
Like in December. But the thing is he, let's see. Well, I mean, he's a hitman, but I don't know. Do you think he died at the end there? I mean, think how bad he's feeling.
Right.
So he did all this stuff for the quote cult or whatever.
Right.
And then they leave. They bail because they're in trouble, and he's left there alone.
Mm-hmm.
And he just probably was totally devastated at that point.
I guess, but he might have had a little assist to go to the other side.
He could have. I mean, that's something we talk about.
Right.
But I don't know if well, he was cremated, right?
He was cremated.
How'd they let that happen? Because they were on his radar. He was on their radar at this time.
Well, they did have the autopsy. I was reading that today.
Yeah, but
they
that's
did have, And then I read though that I guess the county, whoever does the autopsy there, that they have come under question as far as the validity of some of their autopsies.
Yeah, and they weren't looking for that at the time. So their autopsy's a standard. Okay, here he is. Oh, he had a little of this. They're just looking at the standard stuff where you got to do some special testing to see if anybody was drugged. And I've always thought he was poisoned based on the description that he had foam coming out of his mouth. And now we hear that Tammy had something similar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. To me, I think, he had kind of probably taken care of who they needed him to take care of. So who knows? I mean, she might have, as crazy as it sounds, you hear a lot of those cults where they'll basically say, okay, we're all going to drink the purple Kool-Aid. So maybe they just said to him.
I thought it was red Kool-Aid. Okay.
Was it?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just the Kool-Aid. I mean, that's what's so scary. Look at the James, what was it, Jonestown? Like 900 people, right. I think, or maybe it was more. Mm-hmm. But man, that's just such a huge number. But I guess at the end they were forcing people, even if they didn't want to. So it wasn't really, it was more just murders.
Mm-hmm. Right. So I don't know, but that's kind of my thinking on that. I've never, like I say, I'm kind of new to your channel, but I really gotten, so now I'm kind of setting my clock by listening to you. I really enjoy your sarcasm.
Okay, good. Hey,
somebody. I'm very sarcastic.
Oh yeah, cool. Well, sarcasm's the highest form of humor. Hey, look at Alex. Somebody just typed in that Alex was 51 and Lori was 46.
Oh, okay, so he's an older brother.
But his mentality was younger, don't you think? Like he seemed.
Yeah, I do think.
Yeah.
I mean, she seems like such a self-assured person as far as like her looks and everything.
What?
That's right.
Yeah, doesn't that make you angry when you just hear that when she does that?
Oh yeah, it does.
It sucks.
Plus, but yeah. So no, and then I think he was probably like the dorky-ish brother who was the comedian, but not really very successful, and
right. And she probably made him feel like he was part of something finally. That's usually what cults are all about anyways.
Oh, exactly.
And so he felt like he was part of something, and he really wanted to sort of be the hero. Because here's the thing, that Alex and Chad were having conversations. I bet you even privately, because they were even together when the police showed up that one time. And I guarantee if they were talking about all kinds of stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I would agree. And I'm sure Chad just totally sucked him into, we got to take care of our princess so she can lead the 144,000. So if he really truly believed everything as much as Melanie Gibb said, then I think it would be easy, even for them to convince him to kind of.
Yeah. Somebody said you sound like Melanie Gibb, and I don't think so at all. I haven't.
Yeah, I'm using a different name right now.
Here, wait, no. Hey, let's try this. Just talk a little quieter.
There you go.
And make it sound like you're selling something. Come on. You can do it. You can do
I
it.
can't quote scripture, so I don't follow any religion, so sorry.
Well, I was just hoping you could just talk about Alex, but in sort of a more quiet. Like,
I
yeah.
love him. I love the other Melanie too. She loved me.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that was a little bit better. Okay, I can hear it now, everybody. Yeah.
No, so thank you though. Thank you for everything you've done. I've really enjoyed. I enjoyed that you also don't always do the major, what everybody's following, because sometimes I just get so tired of hearing all that. So I mean,
apparently that's what's smart to do if you want to get a ton of subs. But I'm looking for subs that are interested in all kinds of different cases. Okay, because I definitely don't want. I don't just cover the same ones. Now, like right now, there's a lot of stuff going on, and in this one, and I've wanted to have calls on these particular topics, but it's just I don't know. It's a little bit disheartening sometimes when it's just like if you just keep covering the same one over and over, then all of a sudden you get 1 billion subs. But the problem is if you don't keep covering that and you switch over to just some random cold case, they tune in and they go, oh God, I'm not watching that, because they were there just for that case.
Oh yeah, see, and that's I actually have had to move away from a couple because of a lot of speculation that they do. So I don't like the speculation. So honestly, there's only you and one other station or YouTuber that I really listen to, because I can't handle the wild, crazy.
Yeah, I mean we speculate, but it's the quote on the channel is you speculate. Let's see. You fill you know how people think outside the box, So ours is fill the box with facts, and then think outside of that box, So so now that it's filled with facts, you can, and your speculation is reasonable based on what you're seeing, because everybody's speculating, or you're not really going to be, but it's the crazy speculation. Straight to aliens right off the bat. Or
yes, that's what I agree. Or they'll see some little speck on something and say, I think that was this. And it's like,
oh, yeah.
I'm not sure how we just leapt to that. So I have really enjoyed your station. I plan on continuing to watch and becoming a much better subscriber. So thank you so much for what you do.
Well, thank you very much. That
have
was
a great day.
Fun call. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. And that was Cindy. And the lines are open, everybody. She didn't entice you guys to call in and talk about Alex? Yeah. So Alex was over at Charles's house, even though he just lived 23 miles away. He was sleeping on the floor. He was sent there just to kill him the next day. And let's see. What's this whole thing about when it says taken off the market? That means somebody else rented it? I'm not really sure why they put this in here. Like, date Alex Cox's apartment was taken off the market. So that's when he left it, and then did somebody else rent it like right away after that, or what? It almost feels like it should be the other way around. Well, Alex Cox, they didn't deem him a zombie, did they? It was they said Tammy was a zombie. No, they pulled it off. So, but what does that mean, though? If they took it off the market, that means it's on the market, available to be rented. So somebody else rented it already, is what they're saying. Okay, somebody was offered something. Okay. I mean, that's what it seemed like it meant, but I mean, why not just say Alex moved on this date? Who cares when something went off the market? It just doesn't seem relevant. Hey, thanks, Cindy. Wow, that was really fun. Good to have a reasonable thinker. Yeah, I just never understood why it was mentioned. Ryan was at the park with Lori Vallow, Alex Cox, and JJ Vallow. That 9/8/19 is the last time Tylee Ryan's ever been confirmed seen. Remember all those people that thought that they believed the story that she was like in Tennessee at a concert with somebody? And those people were so sure. Oh yeah, it was definitely her. And then they acted funny when they said, "Where are you from?" And well, they were full of crap that whole time. Oh, and by the way, there was an article today that said the McCann parents said that the Daily Mail story about them getting a letter was bogus. Okay, so there's when I say Daily Mail is like 90% accurate, we got the 10 apparently on that, unless the parents are backtracking on something they said because they got in trouble for bringing it out. Okay, but who the hell knows? It's just yeah, the whole concert thing. Yeah, Daily Mail, 90% is terrible if you're a news outlet. Okay? But you can go to them whenever there's like a major event. They usually have a bunch of photographs quickly of it. They're really good at that and getting sort of the basic part of a story. But man, this was a full-on story with quotes in it. So, I don't know. And it wasn't just Daily Mail, by the way. It was other... Yeah, the Daily Mail is definitely worth looking at when there's a story, because they do get accurate stuff sometimes that isn't on the mainstream channels, but then you get this crap like this. 347, you're on the air.
Hey, Glenn.
Hello.
Oh, you can hear me? It's Miss Skis.
This is Miss Skis?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Nothing much. What up, freaks?
Oh, do you hear that? She says, "What up, freaks?"
I was just calling about the Alex thing.
Oh, yeah? What do you think about Alex?
I think that whole family got issues. Like,
oh, yeah.
They all seem to have mental problems. Because all the stuff they do, obviously, is not normal, you know? And I was just wondering if maybe they all had any type of, like, mental issues or anything that we don't know about in the past that they might have been evaluated for or whatever. Or took any medications themselves.
Well, or they're just really dumb, you know?
Like, it's just kind of hard to believe nowadays that there are people that are really that dumb and gullible. I don't know. It's just mind blowing.
Well, I've been watching Walking Dead, and I was starting.
I guess we can compare them to that, right?
I was starting to believe it. You know, there was a certain point where I was like, "Hey, you know," I'm just kidding, but
no, it's too much. I mean, it's like I have a lot of brothers, you know, and if anything was to happen to me or I had any issues, of course they'll have my back. But if I'd be like, okay, I think he's a zombie, we gotta kill him, that's a little bit absurd. You know, that's too much.
Really, you wouldn't wouldn't just do it? You wouldn't question him and say, "What do you mean by zombies? Come on." Oh wait, they're souls.
Almost like,
yeah, go ahead.
It's almost like they couldn't notice the reality and what's fiction.
Yeah.
Kind of strange, yeah. That's too much. God, it was like something I was gonna ask, but it's like went through my mind.
I think there's all the cults, I think most cults are sort of like that. They always have this crazy stuff going that's part of their doctrine And it's almost like
Yeah.
a badge of honor to believe it or something. Some of the stupid shit, you know?
You know, actually, what I was gonna ask was if you thought that maybe the reason, other than they believed that there were zombies and they were killing them, you would think like the people behind the veil was like, yeah, they're zombies now, from what you're saying, and then that's why they took it to another level.
Maybe, but how were they really? They weren't really speaking to anybody behind the veil. None of those people
I guess
can.
it
They
was
just
chat.
they just pretend they can. There's no such thing. I mean, has anybody? Listen, I hate to break it to you guys, but there's nobody out there talking to anybody behind the veil.
No, like I've seen this thing where Mormon religions, like when you're a certain level, you get to talk to people and they're like behind this white curtain. And all you see is like their hands stick out. But it's almost like, you know how some Catholics go to the booth and they talk about their sins or whatever the case is.
It
It was almost something like that.
Do you have access to a higher weapon at that point? Like, once you get to that level,
No.
do you get the
It's like
Z-bang?
they become a god. They become a god. Like they believe in more than one god and that each planet has a god and all this other crazy stuff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, they have a weird religion.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, here's the thing is, like I've said before, I mean, I think there is some weird, stuff going, beliefs in that religion, but the people they've always been really good people to me, and everyone that I've ever met's been some of the nicest people. But some of that stuff is, I mean, I have to be honest and say, wow, I don't.
Yeah,
believe
even the
in that
Mormons
stuff.
themselves that they were affiliated with, I think like disowned them, didn't want nothing to do with them.
Yeah, I've had. I've actually worked with. I think a place that I worked with Mormons, and they were always nice, and it was great. You can't go have a beer or anything because they don't drink, or I don't think they drink alcohol or have caffeine or a lot of stuff
they
like
take
that.
it to another level. They take it to another level, yeah.
Yeah. What was the other thing? Let's see.
And his comedy didn't even seem that funny,
Was
I
it?
didn't laugh at anything he was saying.
Yeah, he's not a good
Comedy
comedian.
skit, like,
He's not very good comedian.
yeah. Hmm.
He didn't really come up with any good. Well, he had a couple good. They were okay. I mean, people seemed to be laughing while they were in the audience.
I know. I was like, oh wow, they're laughing. It was too much.
Yeah.
But it's not really a whole lot to say because it's like a whole lot we don't really know about him. It's more focused on Laurie and Chad, and then, I mean, what he has done we know about, but we don't really know about him personally.
Yeah, we don't know a lot about him as an individual, but
Yeah.
we don't really know much about. I mean, we know Lori just
Yeah.
like, okay, she was in a beauty contest and all of her different. She's been
Yeah.
covered more deeply than Alex, but
Yeah.
it's more like, how is Alex? What was his role? What part did he play in this?
Yeah, pretty much like you said, the hitman of the family.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all it seemed. Like, how high do you want me to jump,
I mean, look how weird it is too,
strange.
because he didn't just. He was kind of like definitely the hitman, almost a security guard, if you will, too, right? I mean, he's driving around with Melanie every time she goes over to Brandon Boudreau's father's house. I don't think his father realizes how much danger he was in. Or now he does, but he didn't then. 'Cause
Right.
He was in definitely
Yeah.
some danger when Alex went to that house when Melanie tried to get back to kids.
Yeah, it's creepy. Really creepy. He must not have had no type of love life. I mean, I don't even understand how he got married, because when you're in a relationship and you're going to get married, you're like spending all your time with that. You ain't got time to be on call every second your sister calls you to need you for something. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Well, he just got married right at the end there, but they also said the guy that married them said that they seemed just totally distant, like it was just procedural, like they were just getting married for the sake of
for
getting
whatever
married.
reason, yeah.
But Melanie Gibb didn't sound like that. She made it sound like they had met and they liked each other, that kind of thing. So I don't really. There is some contradictory information that we hear in this case. But
I wonder if he had like an insurance policy where the wife would have collected something, and how would that benefit whatever he wanted it to go, wherever he wanted that money to go? Because why would he care to give somebody he barely knows money? You know what I mean? Like, that would be something like, okay, I'm giving you this money, but you have to do this for Lori or for the kids.
Right, yeah, because it would be, well, because it would be part of the cult.
Would he benefit from it? Yeah.
Well, she was in the cult, so maybe, hey, you know,
it was arranged.
When I die, you can go out and use the funds to help fund whatever the hell they're doing or whatever. I don't know. It's just, it's crazy.
It was like it was arranged. And I wonder if like they have some type of like you have to be married for a certain time frame to get a certain type of insurance, like, or you just get married, let's just say today, and then your wife kills you tomorrow, and then next thing you know, you collect a whole bunch of money, you know?
Yeah.
There got to be some type of limits, right?
Yeah. Oh, and he changed his name too, so.
To hers, yeah, like if he didn't want to be found.
It's more like, what did she get out of it?
Yeah, like what were the benefits? Like,
I mean,
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't.
And her poor son, like, I'm not touching him. Like, the things they put their family members through just to do this, and then all for what? To end up in jail, you know what I'm saying?
And then the son.
To not even be together, like, what's the whole purpose?
But then also his son didn't even know who she was. I mean, see, he didn't even, the son of Zulema didn't even know who Alex was.
Yeah, he didn't even know his last name, anything. My mom's boyfriend, that's pretty much what he said.
Yeah, he's like my mom's boyfriend, whatever.
He probably didn't even know she had a boyfriend till that day. Who knows, you know?
Let alone getting married, right? Like, they got married. That was kind of his stepdad at that point, right?
Right, and meaning he didn't even know of the marriage. Like, she just went and did that and didn't include any family or anything like that. It was just all so last minute. Weird.
I mean, I guess it could be that it was for, I don't know if she was a citizen or, you know, this is just a thing, but maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe there was some kind of it would do that, and then he took her name to hide himself. I don't know, because they said there was no, the guy that married them didn't have any sort of thoughts of, like, they just looked like they were just two people saying, hey, sign this, you know?
Yeah, or like a bet. I just made a bet, I lost the bet, and now I got to marry him.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, but that was pretty much it. I don't really have a whole lot on Alex to really talk about, except for the whole killing Charles stuff. We all know that was no self-defense.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be realistic. Yeah, and he probably shot him when he wasn't looking. He was probably a punk about it because he don't look like he a tough guy.
Yeah.
He looked like he the type that'll try to swing at you when you got your back turned. He's a punk.
Yeah. I think it was just really like he just was made to the Lori, JJ, and Tylee all just walked out of the house, and then I think the gun was probably on him the whole time, and I don't think the bat or anything like that ever played a role. It was just
not at all.
And I think it was just Tylee was just told to, have a story, and here's what the story is.
Right.
And that's probably what made him nervous, because I bet you anything that between August and early September, that Tylee probably said something to Lori. I mean, this is total speculation, but I bet she said one time something like, "Hey, if you don't let me do this, I'm gonna tell them about, what happened with Charlie."
I mean, she was 17, so what 17 would,
Yeah, and that's something you would do, right? Hey, I'm going to tell everybody, and then they were like, whoa, yeah, we gotta, she's a zombie now.
Take care of that.
Yeah, hey, Alex.
The poor girl.
It was like this, hey, Alex, guess who's a zombie now? Yeah, Tylee, yeah.
Those poor kids, it's so sad, And I wonder what her parents and sister are saying now, Lori's parents and sister.
Yeah.
Not such a nice girl now. And how do you go from being such a great person and a great mom to becoming the person you are today, all in a couple of months span? Like, how do people just switch up like that? It's almost like two personalities in one. That's something mentally wrong there.
Yeah. Hey, Jackie Blue, we were talking about that earlier. But see, here's the thing: is the light and dark is just the soul of somebody. A zombie doesn't have the soul that we're rating light and dark too. Those are just evil spirits that are in. I'm answering somebody in there. Those are just evil spirits inside the vessel that once held Tylee and JJ. What I think is weird, though, like I said earlier, was that you would want to kill the vessel that once held Tylee, because she is a dark spirit. So why would you want to free a dark spirit to go behind the veil? See, that doesn't make any sense. So, anyways, it gets really complicated, but it makes sense in my head.
I just look at it as, I'm not like a whole big Bible person. Like, I have a whole lot to learn if I actually sit down and read it. But my whole thing with it is like, it says your body is your temple. And when you die, obviously your soul goes up to heaven and your body stays here. You turn back to ashes or dust, or, you know, you back to earth, back to the ground, you know. So it's like your soul is who you are, and your body is just what you're temporarily using until you pass away, you know.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like they pretty much are dead anyway, because their soul is no longer in that vessel, that body, and what's in there now controlling that body is a zombie or whatever they want to put it, and then they're just killing a zombie and freeing the actual soul that's not in the body no more. So
they never explain though why.
Yeah,
why
it's
does
so weird.
So why does the soul get? I mean, here's the thing that they don't explain. You're just supposed to believe it. It's like how does a soul get stuck in limbo? Like what? Why? I mean, why does it? You know, like it gets taken over by an evil spirit, right? But then why would a soul be stuck in limbo until you killed the vessel? Like how does? What's the weird thing that happens when you kill the vessel? Or were they like tethered?
That's probably the gray area.
Yeah. Oh boy.
There's a black area and a white area, and then the limbo might be the gray area, but we won't call it gray because there's nothing like you.
Okay, yeah, don't say that.
Let's call it purple.
How about the GRE area? There you go. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's abbreviate everything now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. It's just too complicated, and it's just like, obviously they're crazy, but are they going to use mental insanity for the fact that they're incompetent to participate in a trial and all of this other stuff? I don't even know. It's too much.
Yeah.
I really just hope they both get life, regardless of who murdered them or not. If it was Alex who murdered them, they still played a big role, and if it wasn't because of them, those kids would still be alive.
Well, even if Alex did, I believe that they're just as guilty. It's like somebody hiring a hitman. They get they usually get a worse sentence than the actual shooter. Okay, and that's what it should be. However, they're out. Their defense, if they use what I'm suggesting, I mean, I'm not trying to help them. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that that's what I would do. You would just say that Alex was rogue, and that he went after zombies without any sort of discussion with everybody. He killed Charles. You know, he came over. I thought it was self-defense, Lori would say, and then he killed Charles. And then later, after he killed the kids, I realized, I thought back and believe now that he killed Charles because he thought he was a zombie, that it wasn't self-defense. And then what happened was, once he killed JJ and Tylee, we panicked. Well, here's the thing is, they're going to have a problem with the timing between between Tylee and JJ, right? Because there's a lot of time. So weren't they panicking after JJ or Tylee went missing, and then went, oh, you know, that something should have happened at that point, but it didn't. And then you let Alex kill JJ later, but then you could say, oh man, we panicked. We dug a hole and then we put him in there, and then we took off the Hawaii because we didn't know what to do, because we knew our doctrine said this and we didn't want to get blamed. Okay, but hey, Chad, why were you patting Lori on the ass during that time you were panicking? Well, that's a good point, sir, but that's a good point. Oh, and then let me ask you this. When you were panicking, how come you, how did your wife die with, I mean, hopefully they're going to have poison by then. Why did your wife die on the 19th? That was 3 weeks after the kids were dead. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of stuff they can't really explain using that theory. But
I think it could have all been resolved if they would have just called the Ghostbusters.
yeah. They should have.
Take out them zombies. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what Alex was, you know. He was the Ghostbuster.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Who are you gonna call? Alex. Jeez.
I know, right? Sucker. See? Here, I'll give you $1,000. Take care of this, and then you can just go and get married somewhere and be happy.
Yeah. Who knows?
Ridiculous. Yeah.
But anyways, I'm gonna go. I gotta do some
Yep.
other stuff. But hey,
All right, Gray.
thanks
I'll
for
catch
calling
you
in.
the chat. Yeah, no problem. Take
Cool.
care.
Have a good one. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Miss Gus. Thanks, Miss Gus. Yeah, I haven't heard from Zulema at all. Well, Wally, it wasn't over their kids' lives. See, that's what you're not getting, Wally. The kids' lives were the spirits that were stuck in limbo. The body is insignificant. You know, a spirit can be plucked out of a body during a time of trauma. I mean, we all know that, right? It's such a weird thing. I mean, I don't know how court's going to work. Because you'd have to establish that this is what their belief system is. And then be able to use that when you're arguing with people. You see what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, here's their belief structure. Now the questions have to reside around that. Align around that. Or I think revolve was the word I was looking for. Because you have to, if I was their attorney, I'd have to say, listen, this is what their belief structure is. Okay, so when the prosecuting attorney says, how can you just kill your children? You have to believe that they thought that the bodies of their children were taken over by an evil spirit, casting out their own love, the children that they love, their spirits into into limbo. Okay, that's how you got to look at it. I don't think they're going to go for insanity. Lori, maybe, but she could go for something like the battered wife. I don't know if that's how you'd say it, because he's not the battered wife, but something like that where you're controlled by the other person. Something more like that, like her mind was controlled. Yeah, we don't really know who that was, Crystal. How they figured out where to dig or any of that. I don't think either of the other Melanies knew at all where the bodies were buried. I think it could be as simple as they finally got some probable cause to get on that property. When they got on that property, the cadaver dogs immediately were able to find. Thanks, Miss Gus and Sean Beecham. Is that your dog, Sean Beecham? What's Mary? I thought you said earlier you had your pet on there. Yeah, that could be about right. William Zambrano. I don't know. It would be hard not to give Lori. Yeah, that's where the whole mastermind versus. I actually look at Chad as sort of like Charles Manson, and Lori being one of the, one of his little minions. But it's going to come down to the defense being able to pin it all on Alex. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch more than Susan Atkins. There's a bunch of them. Well, he doesn't look anything like Charles Manson, but yeah. And the scary thing is what if this had been let build for a while, and they had, let's say, 50 or 100 of these people? Because this just started. They just made a lot of stupid mistakes right off the get-go. Well, maybe I'll go over some of this other stuff now. I got a couple other cases I got emails on. I thought that was pretty interesting, though. So thank you guys for showing up and talking about the Alex and the letter that Melanie wrote. Yep. Yeah, I think Julie Rowe is much more involved sort of in the beginning of all this. I think she realized at some point, but I think she has some responsibility for some of the things, the beliefs, and all you have to do is go back to the part where Julie Rowe and Chad would have conversations about envisioning Tammy dying. Okay, that's very important, I think. And I think a lot of people sort of skip over that a lot. But that was such a big deal. And then there was even a time where Julie said, well, it looks like I'm not seeing it anymore. They've given her more time. The angels behind the veil said it's not time. And then later, when it almost seems like they're plotting on when to kill her, I mean, it's really bizarre. Do you see her dying again? Yes, I am again. Me too, me too. I'd love to know the timing of those conversations to when she died. I think the law enforcement should look into that. Yeah, so there's this case right here is in the news right now. Police identify remains found in Flint's Broom Park as 2 missing women. That's a little bit freaky that there's 2 of them there. Authorities have identified the human remains found in Flint Broom Park 2.5 years ago as 2 women who hadn't been seen for months before they were located. So I wonder if that person moved on to another location. Hey, thanks, Jamie McLaughlin. Let's see. A man walking his dog on the morning of November 7th, 2017 first came across remains, but he had an appointment to make, so he couldn't direct police to the area. Really? You see a body in your appointments more important? Jeez. Forensic examiners studied the skulls for clues to their identities and worked with investigators to obtain dental records that would help identify the women. The identities of the women remained a mystery until Tuesday. Investigators are still trying to piece together the last known sightings of Carrison, Stiber, and Wilson before the discovery of their skulls. Man, that's whacked out. Yeah. Now look at that. Listen to this crazy one.
The family is getting closer to closure. Earlier today, the Mercer County Sheriff's Department in Ohio released the identity of human remains found back on January 3rd, 2016. The victim, 22-year-old Ryan Zimmerman. Wayne 15's Brianna Brownlee has been following this story. We do want to warn you, what you're about to hear is graphic.
And of course, I don't need to say that because I give you the disclaimer at the very beginning.
Missing back in November of 2015 after his family didn't hear from him in nearly 2 months. In January 2016, his skeletal remains were found near Coldwater Creek on US 127.
So we found the remains that were found by a lady who was out walking her dog on a Sunday, and she found a bone that she thought was a human bone.
That human bone belonged to 22-year-old Ryan Zimmerman. It is believed that he is a victim of homicide. The Mercer County Sheriff's Department says his body was clearly dismembered. His head was cut off at the spinal column with apparent saw marks.
Oh my God, he was cut up with a saw.
All of his skeletal remains have yet to be recovered.
We never did find the skull, and at least at this point, we believe that that was discarded in some other location. We don't have any bones that were recovered that would be below the elbows or below the knees.
Wow.
So basically we have the torso area of the skeleton.
Wow.
A full DNA profile was done.
Sounds so similar to so many others. You throw all the different body parts all around.
Able to get a hit to identify the victim. Later, Columbus PD reached out to the parents and requested they submit a DNA sample. It was then confirmed that the remains did belong to Ryan Zimmerman.
Wow. Oh, this is Daily Mail, but man's body is discovered in...
Good evening. Fort Wayne police continue to investigate crimes committed by violent protesters over the last few weeks. This a day after they...
There we go. Man's body is discovered engulfed in flames with his hands tied behind his back on the side of a New York City highway. Well, that's going to be a homicide, everybody. Police have discovered a man's body which was on fire with his hands tied behind his back. The gruesome discovery was made at the Hutchinson River Parkway in the Bronx, New York, early on Monday. Here, let me see something. That's crazy. Okay. Authorities were initially called out to extinguish a fire on the side of the road. Police have recovered a man's body which was on fire with his hands tied behind his back. Above and below are the crime scene right here. So here, let me get a different article on this. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Police are investigating after the badly burnt body of an unidentified man was found along a Bronx highway. Okay. Near exit 6 to Interstate 95. Okay. So that's 95. So it kind of feels like that might be. I almost think that's the spot right there. because of that tree. See that one tree right there that's sticking out? And would that be on this side? I don't know. Let me just go down to Street View here and check it out. So I wonder, maybe that's it right there. Ugh, come on. Right in that area. I don't know. So this is the highway they're talking about, and this is 95. It's like a guardrail right there. But that looks like that's up in the air, right? Like that's there's some height right there. I don't see that yet, but let me... On the northbound side of the Hutchinson River Parkway, near... Okay. Let's do this. So this is Hutchinson, the northbound lane, and then near this ramp. So right in there. I was thinking that maybe that's it right here. Let's see. And actually, I think this might be right. Going backwards on the road, but could this be the guardrail that we were looking at? Right there. Oh, that doesn't look right. But also time goes by and we don't know. So near there. That's not it. That's on the northbound lane, so over here. This is 95. So maybe a little bit further back. There, I'm going to start right here and then okay, but the 95 is coming up here. Now, didn't they say exit 3? What did they say there? Around 12:20 for a fire on the northbound side of Hutchinson River Parkway near exit 6. Oh, that's exit 5. So that's 95 though. Where would... Wait. That's weird. I don't even see an exit though. That's... So you're driving north. It's not like you're gonna get a hard U-turn, right? Where the hell is the exit they're talking about? I have to go check that out. You still looking up Alex Cox at this point? Well, you know, exit 6 could have been the other direction though, right? It's usually a lot easier just to find something, but it always depends on how well they describe. Because apparently it's supposed to be on 95. And that's right here. Exit 3. Northbound of this. This is the Bronx and... Wait, hold on a second. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Hutchinson River Parkway. Yeah, already got that. No, so it's that one. That's where we were before. I got turned around right there, but yeah. Hutchinson River Parkway. And this is 95. But again, yeah, you can't turn off of that. That's coming back onto it, so I'm not sure when they say exit, because there isn't one there. Ah, screw it. I'll look at it later. Maybe there'll be some better information later in this article here. The FDNY responded, and upon extinguishing the flames, authorities discovered the body of an unidentified man. According to police, victim's hands were tied together behind his back. Man, what a nightmare. Yeah, it's not up in the air, that's the problem. And this is just from November. And no, that's not a body right there. No, this is, it says near 95 right here. See? I know where I am. I was near exit 6 a minute ago. I mean 5. Not exit 20, sorry. You're looking at the wrong show.
River Parkway, a man was found dead after police say his hands were tied. Gruesome discovery off the Hutchinson River Parkway. A man was found dead after police say his hands were tied up and his body set on fire. News 4's Catherine Craig live in Pelham Bay with the latest on the investigation. Kat.
Brianna, we just checked with the NYPD minutes ago. There are still officers and investigators there at the scene. It is very close to where we are. Let's show you this video. In fact, we had our cameras rolling, cameras and our video capturing what police are doing there right now. What started out as a call to extinguish a fire off the side of the road has now become a death investigation. The crime scene is off of the Hutchinson River Parkway just before exit 6 in the northbound lane lanes. This all began with firefighters doing there right now. What started out as a call to extinguish a fire off the side of the road has now become a death investigation. The crime scene is off of the Hutchinson River Parkway just before exit 6 in the northbound lanes. This all began with firefighters being called to that area after midnight. They extinguished a fire and then discovered a man dead. Police tell us officers arrived and found that man's hands had been tied behind his back. There was no car near him. It is believed that he was left there. At one point, only one lane of the Hutchinson River Parkway northbound was open, and police are working to identify the man found there. An autopsy will be done on that person, but again, police remain on the scene, and this investigation continues. Reporting live, Catherine Craig, News 4 New York.
So that's exit 5. Okay, so you're saying exit 6? So you're way over here now? Jesus. Now it's exit 5. Now we gotta go to exit 6. So it is that direction. Thanks, Jamie McLaughlin. Okay, it's gonna be right here. Okay, now this looks like that last video we were just looking at. I think I'm here. I think this is it. That's funny, I stopped right where it is. See that? I'm almost positive that's it right there. But that's what we were looking at. So let's get back to the video. Let's just stop it right here and check. But there should be a big tree. That's right there. There's the big tree.
Still officers and investigators there at the scene. It is very close to where we are. Let's show you this video.
Thank you,
in fact,
Jamie
we had
McLaughlin.
our cameras rolling. Cameras and our video capturing what police are doing there right now. What started out as a call to
see that big tree that was right there?
Extinguish a fire off the side.
All right. Right, I think it's that one right there. I'm going to back up. I'll let you guys see the whole thing. Yeah, so I think that's the big tree that you're seeing. And this is the guardrail that we were just looking at. So right back in here, there was the guy's hands were tied and burned.
Side of the road has now become a death investigation. The crime scene is off of the Hutchinson River Parkway just before exit 6 in the northbound lanes. This all began with firefighters being called to that area after midnight. They extinguished a fire and then discovered a man dead. Police tell us officers arrived and found that man's hands had been tied behind his back. There was no car near him. It is believed that he was left there. At one point, only one lane of the Hutchinson River Parkway northbound was open, and police are working to identify the man found there. An autopsy will be done on that person, but again, police remain on the scene, and this investigation continues. Reporting live, Catherine Craig, News 4 New York.
All right. So I guess it was a couple more miles down than I was thinking. They just said it in another article that was near Co-op City, so that looks a little closer, but I don't know why they mentioned 95. What's it got to do with 95 here? Oh, I guess the next 95. It goes around over here. So 95 curls back around, and that's closer to exit 6. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now here's one of these cases, right? There was a hot car death of 2 children. See these 2 kids right here? They both died in the father's vehicle. And everybody, I'm sure, on social media was bashing into oblivion, right? But it said What was this article? Let me get the other one first. All right, here we go. 2 children found dead after locked inside truck. See, listen to how the narrative was. Listen to this. 2 children found dead after locked inside truck for 5 hours. No formal charges filed yet.
When video showed what happened.
Okay. And then the reality of it is, after everybody probably wanted to charge the guy, it said, today investigators with the Tulsa Department brought to the attention of the District Attorney's Office additional information they were able to develop in the matter of deaths, Tegan and Ryan Dennis. I mean, it's horrible that they died, regardless, but detectives within the Child Crisis Unit were concerned about conflicting information as it related to the initially reported facts. Video surveillance footage from a neighbor's home confirmed that the children managed to get into the truck and tragically never got out. Based upon the newly discovered evidence, the detectives immediately reported it to our office. They then presented that information to the judge who initially set bond. Mr. Dennis was authorized for release on personal recognizance. No formal charges have been filed in this case. They might file something later, like you weren't watching your kids or whatever. But he didn't leave them in the car. He'd gone on a trip with the kids, came home, took them out of the car, and then somehow these little kids got back into his truck. Yeah, there's nothing fishy about it, though, at this point, so. I don't know. They probably opened the door, shut it, and then couldn't figure out how to get out. I mean, who knows? They were only 3 and 4 years old, like they're tiny little kids. But it's on video, so that should end the story, unless you want to go after him for not watching the kids and sort of that negligence thing, okay? But there isn't any sort of malice or anything like that, okay? And there's almost no cases. The only cases that I would be charging people on are the ones where a mom goes into or a dad, whatever, goes into a casino and intentionally leaves their kid in the car and something happens to them. The other ones where a parent leaves the kid in the car on accident, it should just be, the punishment is that they killed their child. It's horrible. Like, they have to live the rest of their life with that. And it's not intentional. And no, Justin Ross Harris didn't do it intentionally. Even though everybody hates the guy and wants to believe it because they want to, not because it's true. Yeah, what a nightmare. Must have been that truck right over there. That red truck in the background. Yeah, Justin Ross Harris got screwed twice. He killed his kid on accident, and then he's in prison forever. He got life in prison, no parole, malice murder, because the people on the jury were too stupid. One of the jury members left crying because I think they were sort of convinced to have to go along with the rest of the lunatics in there who were partying when it was over. Just idiots, okay? Well, Gray, you know what? I got to see more than they got to see. The public actually had access to stuff that they didn't get to see. And it wouldn't even matter. It's like the stuff that went on in that trial was absolutely insane that the prosecutors were able to get away with. They should have had a mistrial like 4 times because they falsely sold a story that wasn't true. And then they go, okay, it was really like this then. I don't know. I don't have the body camera footage. I'm sure. Justin Lum is the one that's been getting all the body camera footage of things that went on in Arizona. So I don't know how the laws are in Idaho. And that would probably be more something that Nate would be getting. Yeah. So here's the thing, everybody. All the holier-than-thou people out there that say, I would never leave. This is what they always say.
I would never leave my kid in a car. I'm so much better than all of you.
And that's really what it is that you think you're so much better than everybody because you would never do that, and maybe you got lucky and it never happened to you. But every time a child's left in a hot car, that's the first thing that they always say is, God, I don't know how this happened. You know, they're the same people that are the holier-than-thou types on social media. Okay? It's a real thing that actually happens. And it might even happen to one of you. I hope it doesn't. But I won't think of you as some monster. I'll think, God, man. Because you can get distracted easy. And watch this one. Here's what I've said before. I've said to you guys the same thing. Because I've gone grocery shopping and bought ice cream, frozen goods, all kinds of stuff. Just filled up the car. And then on the way back, I start thinking of a program that I'm building. And then when I get to the house, I'm still thinking of the program. I open the door, I get into the house, I sit down, and I start coding. Oh, yeah, I got to figure it out. And then about an hour later, I go, oh, shit, man. I had groceries in the car.
Gray, how dare you compare groceries to a child?
Yeah, that's not what I'm doing, idiot. I'm comparing the mechanism. Okay? It's the mechanism, the same distraction. And that's exactly the same thing. And you just hope that somebody would remember sooner. Okay? But I get that response all the time, though. So that's why I was able to put that in there. Yeah, there you go, Zozo. There you go. That's right. It's a change in routine and sometimes just being distracted. You know? I mean, how many of you have driven down the freeway and then you look ahead and you go, yeah, I got to take that exit. And then just in that little bit of time, you got totally distracted with a thought, and then you drove past that exit that you were supposed to just take. Well, because that is the same mechanism. Now, some of them keep building on each other, especially if you're a computer programmer type, you know, that your mind is totally filled with stuff. Man, Cairo, I can't even understand that sentence. I'm just happy I'm the only responsibility. Oh, you yourself. Okay. I could definitely see. Yeah. Have you ever left yourself in a hot car, Cairo? Yeah. No, that's not true, Ashley T. You're absolutely wrong about that one. Yep. It happens all the time. See, that's the thing. You got to quit thinking how you think you would be, and you're so much better, so therefore nobody else could. It happens all the freaking time to newborn babies with a car seat. Okay, when I say all the time, I mean, 20, 30 times a year, right? Well, that's not a lot, but every time it happens, you're going to hear from it. Just guessing, huh? No, it's okay. Just say to yourself, it's really rare, but it doesn't mean the times that it happens that they're barbarian moms and barbarian dads. The reason that Justin Ross Harris got in trouble, because he had a car seat, it was behind him. Everyone hated him because he was sexting with somebody. They made him look like a monster because of the reason he was distracted. But yet he was distracted nevertheless. And that is the truth. And then they came up with a bunch of crap trying to make it seem like he was trying to kill his kid. And it's absolutely garbage. And I don't know how... That jury should be ashamed of themselves. Really. Everybody on there, I hope they don't sleep one night until this thing gets fixed, because it's a freaking nightmare. Yeah, and I don't even like Justin Ross Harris. I'm like, man, what an idiot. He was cheating on his wife. He was hooking up with all the, different women, and he was texting and sexting and all that shit. And I could definitely see him getting a negligence charge, something like that. And I went golfing, what was it, about a year ago, and I was in a foursome, right? And I brought the concept up of the hot car deaths, and they go, oh man, this one time, all three of them said that they left their kids in the car one time. They just remembered within a certain amount of time, or the weather was different. Okay? So I guarantee it, in this chat right here, there are people who have left their kid in the car but remembered, and then that's their out and their superiority. They'll say, well, I remembered. Okay, well, sometimes people don't have the get to be able to remember because they're keep being inundated with something new, and it keeps building upon the distraction, and it just takes that little extra. And then there's, you actually believe, especially the routine thing that Stacy was talking about. Like if you're driving somebody to work, or you're not to daycare, and then you're on your way to work, but you don't normally do that. And then this day, you get in your car, and as you're driving, you forget that you're taking the kid to daycare. The kid's quiet in the back seat. You pull into your work, and you go in, and you start doing your work. And then later your wife says, how's the kid? And then you go, oh my God, you can just see what that would feel like. You just realize that you never dropped your kid off there. And if you guys don't believe what I'm saying, go look it up. It's like forgotten baby syndrome, or it's just a real thing that actually happens. It's the same people, like people that own pit bulls, and they go, God, it was so great. And then it kills a baby or a person. And then they'll say how great of an owner they were and how great the dog always was. Well, it's one of those things where it just happens sometimes. And no matter what you think you were as a dog trainer and owner, your dog might actually do that at some point. Yeah. Now, some people, it's not always, that's what they say in court, like autopilot and shit, but that doesn't have it's not a technical term. Yeah. We had a case here in Oregon where a guy working at Intel, he drove the kid, his child. He was supposed to take the kid to daycare. He drove into the Intel parking lot, went inside, worked the entire day, came outside, and his child was dead. And he was devastated. And the medical examiner and prosecutor, they found an out by saying they weren't able to determine how the child died, so we don't know if it was something else. Okay, so they realized how devastated he was. Now, in Justin Ross Harris's case, they thought, God, he doesn't act right. He's not upset enough. But you know what's bullshit about that? Is when the cops got there, he was freaking out. He was wigging out. Screaming. You can see it he's running all over the place. And then they said, calm down, calm down. We're going to arrest you. Then they put him in the back of the car, telling him to calm down. And then they use the video of him in the back of the car calm down as to, look, he doesn't care at all. Don't you guys find that disgusting? Because I sure do. Yeah, it was really a nightmare. Then they have him on camera while he's in the surveillance, not the surveillance, the interrogation room. He's in there and he's just he's walking around going, God, you can see it. He's an introvert type. He doesn't act like everybody else does either. Yeah. No, see, that's the whole thing, Miss Snailgale. Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't like Justin Ross Harris. I think he did scummy shit. But the truth is that doesn't affect me. Like, if I was on that jury, I would have been absolutely, I wish I was the foreman or something. I would have been a hung jury. I would not have let that get through. Okay? There's no way in hell I would have done that. The defense was great. Somehow, the people just wanted to believe the prosecutor. So, if I was on that jury, I would have just held out and held out and held. I saw the whole trial, every single bit of it, and that's all that matters. And I wish more people would do that. Like that movie 12 Angry Men is a great movie to go watch because everybody was willing to vote guilty except the Henry Fonda guy character, and he said, I don't know, let's take a look at this. And by the time it was over, they all voted the other way. Okay? Because that was the truth too. All right. Wow. Thank you to Fishing in the Dark, Maybe Sunshine, Tracy75, Zozo again, Just Shelly, Allison R, Sarah Brown, Lane S, Half Rudder, Zozo, Sherlock Hemlock, Jennifer Scarpa, Mandy Scott, Dadio Caspian Horses Rock, Peggy Kelly, Sean Beecham, Mag, Dadio Caspian Horses Rock again, Sarah Brown, Rachel Ann, Sean Beecham, Sherlock Hemlock, Chrissy Paradis, Firstly Angel, I think that's what it says, or Onesley Angel, Rebecca N, Sherry, Dadio Caspian Horses Rock, Sean Beecham, and Dadio Caspian Horses Rock did the cat eye donation. Sean Beecham, Dadio Caspian Horses Rock again, Cindy Markham, Sean Beecham, Zozo, Miss Skiss, Sean Beecham, Jamie McLaughlin, Rachel Ann, Jamie McLaughlin again for a cat eye donation. Thank you. Christine Aiden, Zozo, Sarah M, Miss Skiss, Darrell Greggs, twice there, and Cairo. Thank you very much. I hope you guys didn't mind my basketball, switch of topic for a second there. I was done doing the crime talk. But yes, George Gervin, if he played today, would be just absolutely the most popular player in the league by a mile. It would be crazy. It'd be fun as hell to watch. He'd be tricking people all day long and just so. All right, cool. No way, man. No baseball. That's like watching paint dry. Oh yeah, I got a new Patreon. Allison, thank you. Oh wait, hold on. What's this say? Oh. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, yeah, that's what I was going to tell you earlier. There's no link between Savannah Schneider and the other girl. They said they came forward with that. There's no link. Just let you know really quick. Thanks, Carly Levine. So slow. Yes, everybody, and don't forget to check out Stacy Galloway's book, Death of Nine, the Dyatlov Pass Mystery. It's in the description of my videos. Every video that I ever make, it's in there. It's on Amazon. Doesn't cost that much, but a great book. And we did a 3-part series on my channel. Oh, stopped on a dime. All right, one more lap. One of these times a creature is going to jump out from behind one of these rocks. It's going to be crazy, man. I'll tell you. Now let's try this one right through there. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm stuck inside the mountain. Oh, look at that. There's a face. There's two eyes. It's the devil. Look at that. Two horns and an eye. And... Look at.
What are you talking about, Gray? What the little devil? Oh wait, that's me. What do you mean? No, that was you. That was me. That was me. That was you. Me. It's like the face on Mars. It's like the face on Mars. I'm stuck inside the rock, yay! All right, yay!
Hey, what the hell were you doing on there? I'm supposed to get back on for a second. Jesus. Wow. These guys are crazy, huh? Yes. So thank you guys all for showing up tonight. I'm going to put this video on private and then put back on the first couple hours there. And I'll probably do it as a premiere, so then you guys can all chat again or whatever. Get the laughs back in again, but I'll keep it out there so I can read the funny comments you guys apparently made. Alright, so thank you guys all for showing up. Make sure that you keep washing your hands with the sanitizer, maintaining that social distancing with the masks on if you go out in public. Alright, feel free to touch your face all day long right after you wash your hands with sanitizer. I mean, you can be like this after you've put the sanitizer on it. Okay? Alright, everybody. Thank you very much. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. 2, 3. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. If you try to play me like an old projector, crime sector is my nectar.
Yeah,
the radio's gonna give another lecture.
He's gonna upload it later.
Freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all. Just remember I've a temple fucking checker. I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. Alright, everybody? Talk to you.
Yay! Thank you! Wow, that was really fun, Gray!
Why are you talking to me? You're supposed to say something to John Boy.
Yeah, you're supposed to say something to me. Why'd you do that?
Oh, okay. Hey, good night, John Boy.
Well, that's all you're going to say now after you interrupted it?
Okay, yeah, well, wasn't that an interesting show? I thought it was really fun and neat. I mean, it was a lot of interesting things there at the end, too, but unfortunately, you won't be able to keep those on there because there's too many, triggered people out there.
Wait, how do you know the word triggered? That's weird. How did you know that? That's crazy.
Well, I hear you guys say it all the time. Okay, good night, John Boy.
Good night, Mary Lou.
Hey, good job, you guys. You just said goodnight normally at the end there. That was very, very good of you guys. All right, well, thank you guys very much for showing up tonight. And, yeah, again, be safe out there.